the Ghost Battalion, soldiers killed in a secret weapons test. In the final years of World War II, a strange disappearance took place that was never officially recorded. A battalion of 237 Allied soldiers was quietly transported to a remote testing facility in northern Scotland. The soldiers were told it was a simple training assignment, but the environment was suspicious: foggy marshland, old industrial buildings, and strict orders forbidding communication with anyone outside the facility. Within days of arrival, the battalion began to notice odd things: codes that didn't match their movements, metallic noises coming from empty hallways, and distant whispers across the marsh at night. Soldiers reported seeing shadows moving even when nobody was around. Although they tried to rationalize it, tension grew inside the battalion. Unbeknownst to them, they had been selected for Project Ashlight, a highly classified experiment to test a new kind of psychological chemical weapon. Unlike traditional weapons, this substance didn't aim to kill with force or poison. Instead, it targeted the mind, causing intense fear, hallucinations, and emotional breakdown. Scientists believed the weapon could be used to destroy enemy morale on the battlefield. Late one evening, the chemical was released into the air as part of a large-scale test. Within minutes, soldiers began hearing their names being whispered from the fog. Some claimed to see figures wearing Allied uniforms walking slowly through the marsh, but with empty, emotionless faces. Others saw distorted shapes in the darkness and heard orders being shouted by voices that didn't belong to anyone in their unit. Panic spread rapidly. Radios malfunctioned, lights flickered, and some soldiers ran blindly into the marsh, never to return. The entire test lasted less than 12 hours, but by morning, only 14 soldiers were still alive. These survivors were found trembling, confused, and unable to speak coherently. None of them could explain what really happened. The remaining 223 men were missing: no bodies, no tracks, nothing left behind. It was as if the entire battalion had dissolved into the fog. Terrified by the outcome, military officials immediately shut down Project Ashlight. All remaining documents were locked away, and the facility was destroyed. Families of the missing men were told they had died in unrelated combat operations. No one outside the program was allowed to know the truth. Decades later, bits of the story leaked out when a few classified pages were accidentally declassified. They mentioned psychological failure, complete unit loss, and uncontrolled responses. Still, the exact details were never revealed to the public. Over the years, strange events continued around the old marshland. Hikers reported hearing distant marching late at night. Others heard whispers in the fog that sounded like men calling for help. Urban explorers discovered scattered dog tags belonging to soldiers who had been officially listed as missing at sea, not missing on land. Local residents believe the marsh is haunted by the spirits of the lost battalion. They say that if you walk there alone at night, you might hear footsteps behind you marching in perfect military rhythm. Some claim the voices still call out names, repeating the last moments those soldiers experienced before disappearing forever. To this day, the military denies the existence of Project Ashlight, or the missing battalion. No official record mentions their disappearance. But their story lives on in rumors, unexplained sightings, and the chilling belief that the Ghost Battalion continues to march through the fog, trapped between reality and the horrors created by human experimentation. And so the story of the Ghost Battalion remains one of the darkest secrets erased from wartime history. A reminder that sometimes the greatest dangers are not the enemies we face, but the weapons we create ourselves.